What's the most intimate thing in a relationship that's not sexual? Getting each other's sense of humor. And when you both start talking like each other because you pick up on each other's slang and way of speaking. My wife coming to my immunotherapy treatments. They take 6 to 7 hours. I'm hooked up to an 4 and stuck in a chair. Once all the meds hit, I turn into a puzzled mess, and she tries to figure out if I'm hungry, thirsty, or just trying to sleep. When it's over, she gently wakes me up and guides me to the car. I wouldn't let anyone else see me like that. Taking care of your significant other when they can no longer care for themselves. This is how I know my grandparents loved each other. My grandmother had a stroke in 1996 and couldn't walk or talk anymore, and my grandfather did everything for her and took care of her until she passed away in 2016. Emotionally, just venting to each other or talking seriously about your future together. Physically, to be honest, just a long hug is quite powerful. Honesty. It's not like we actively go around lying all day, but until you're in a relationship where you have truly honest conversations about even the most mundane thing, you realize how much tactfulness goes into everyday interactions. In my opinion, it's extremely intimate to share your true unfiltered thoughts. When it's 3 a.m. and I can't sleep, but he somehow notices in his sleep and pulls me in his arms. He also pushes me out of bed 2 hours later to avoid my alarm clock waking him up all the way. For me, one is when you're in a group of people and you're doing your thing and she's doing hers, and momentarily your eyes lock across the room and it makes you feel warm inside. Yes, we worked together, and every time I saw him we both would just smile, and his face always lights up when he sees me. And when LD get off work on his days off, he'd run outside before I got out of the car to help me with anything I had with me, and he's hug me. Every time. Whether it was rainy or not, he's ran out in his pajamas and no shoes and comes to give me a hug and help me with groceries, etc. Carries my purse. This is for all relationships, outside of romantic ones. My friend gave me a rock. It was bright and shiny and lovely. It was a color liked. She simply said, I was out and saw it. It said Melly, so I bought it for you. The short answer is, they think of you and your happiness even when you aren't together. I went on a trip to Michigan in June and we went up to the Upper Peninsula for a few days. I picked up a rock from one of the beaches and brought it home to my boyfriend so he could have something for one of the most beautiful places I've ever seen. It's still sitting on his dresser, that plain little rock. Boyle would say washing their hair. Cared for her through 6+ years of cancer. She passed away 11 months ago. I would do it all over again for her. Just having little tiddy bits of information about them. Like if I eat spicy food, I'll get hiccups in the first 3 to 5 bites, and then after they subside I'll be able to eat that spicy food without any issues. This is so specific, but them knowing and showing that they know is just so intimate. We wake up holding hands. Neither of us realize it, but in our sleep we seem to end up like that. Seeing how they respond when shit gets real. I was attacked and out of work recovering for about a month, and my BF didn't even blink about my lack of income. He just says, it's essentially your new birthday, we'll have whatever you want to order for dinner all month. He was there through my panic attacks, my crying spells, my lawyer's appointments, signing up for therapy, everything. To see how much someone will stand by you and love you when you're at your worst is pretty incredible. Talking about each other's fears. I mean, yeah, like arachnophobia and fear of heights and stuff, but also existential stuff. Things that fucking terrify you as human beings. Losses and death and illness and feeling like you're lost. That stuff. The closest thing I had to a relationship was with a girl that I could literally talk to about anything. She and I both knew that we didn't need to sugarcoat, bend, or hide the truth from each other. It was wonderful to just freely speak my mind with her. No games, no lies, no masks. Ever since she left, I've been trying to find that again. Recognizing you're upset when nobody else in the room can see it. Another one to me is learning new ways to communicate. My partner has been sick, he lost his voice. I know sign language and I taught him the hand sign for I love you. He never knew it was I love you, till I taught him. Now, he can talk a bit better. He verbally says I love you, but also he'll say babe look, and he'll flash the loo sign to me and smiles. It's only been about a week and a half that I showed him that, but he uses it as well as says it, and I think it's amazing. Al also taught him how to sign more kisses LOL. Because he loves when I give him kisses on his face. So when he was at the beginning of being sick, he'd sign more kisses, it's little things that aren't sexual that makes a relationship feel so close and intimate. I could ramble on for hours and hours, pages upon pages about how wonderful this man is. Trust no one, not even your cat, especially your cat. Eye contact, staring into those big, wide marbles, trying for a moment to see what they see. Then, suddenly, the smile. Ah, that small little grin that grows wide when they catch on and realize you're thinking what they're thinking. Wow, you're really here with me. Eye contact, staring into those big, wide marbles, trying for a moment to see what they see. Then, suddenly, the smile. Ah, that small little grin that grows wide when they catch on and realize you're thinking what they're thinking. Wow, you're really here with me. Stares. When I was pregnant with our second kid, about 13 weeks in, we were having sex. He stopped and looked at him to see he has turned ghost white. Babe, you're bleeding. I tell him it's fine, just keep going. No, like a lot. I'm calling the doctor. This is like 2 a.m. I get up not thinking anything of it at first and then look at our bed. It looks like he has stabbed me with a machete. I run to the bathroom and fill the toilet with blood. I feel lightheaded. Manage to get a hold of the OB on call. Unfortunately, you are likely miscarrying. We will schedule an ultrasound in the morning. Until then, rest with your feet up. Sorry, there is literally nothing we can do. He proceeded to clean up the nightmare and held me until morning while L subbed, thinking we killed our baby because I was so fucking horny. We weren't even being rough. The kid lived. He's 8 years old now. We were banned from sex for 7 months. This man cuddled me every night for 7 months. He sympathized when I complained about not being able to be intimate. He never got selfish. He gave me everything I needed. He is not that guy, but he came through so fucking hard. The support I received from was so much more intimate than anything we've done together. Been together since 1998. We still snuggle nightly. Healthcare. Surgeries, driving them places, assisting in their recovery, looking out for their emotional and physical health. Sleeping next to someone and feeling completely safe. I was abused as a kid. One of the things my mom would do to me is brush my hair, which involved ripping out chunks of it while screaming at me for crying. Since then, I've never liked anyone touching my hair, let alone brooking it, until a while into dating my boyfriend. He's actually helped me brush it a couple times, and it's such a sweet bonding experience to be treated gently that way. Crying without judgment. I realized that I don't cry in front of people. Except my wife. She cries, too. We cry over different things and are just there for each other without judgment or saying, you shouldn't cry over this. We understand that we're different. I listen to her, offer her comfort, and actively participate in the conversation with both of our views in mind. And she does the same for me. Funny enough, when we were together a couple of years, though we showered together, I refused to use the bathroom in front of her. Her response? She removed the bathroom door. Later on, and this is going to be gross so hop off now, I became severely constipated. No amount of fiber or water or eye laxatives were doing anything. She took me for colon hydrotherapy, where I took the biggest dump of my life. I lost 3.4 pounds of fecal matter that day, and as I destroyed the toilet, I hugged my wife and sobbed miserably. If that's not intimacy, I don't know what is. Sharing with each other your feelings, hopes and fears. My husband and I have a completely non-verbal way of communicating. I can't even explain it well, but just the way we look at each other or use non-verbal noises and facial expressions, we somehow know exactly what the other means. It's the kind of communication only people who've been together for decades can understand. Taking a bath together. We tried that once. He made a foam beard and screamed he was Gandalf. Then he fucked up his thumb getting into the bathtub and it took like half a year to heal, so that didn't go so great. Probably crying together and comforting one another. Had a moment where we both had thought we were going to break up and we just held each other and wept. I don't think I've felt something akin to it before. Binge watching trash TV and eating pizza together. Spooning. Hugging from behind in bed. Very intimate and close. For me, I had a bad dream the other night. Me and my partner were sleeping and I woke up from my bad dream to him holding me and humming to me. I was trying to wake up but would hear him whisper, "It's okay baby, I'm here, I have you," and he just hummed till I fell back asleep. I've never felt such comfort, warmth, and love from someone before. It was a magical, intimate feeling that in my heart I know he's really the one for me. I've always thought that spending the night with someone, sleeping together, is very intimate. It doesn't always feel intimate, but when you think about it, it takes a lot of trust to lose consciousness with someone. Also, there's something special about that person being their last thing before you fall asleep and first thing in the morning. Inside jokes. I can get so ridiculous with my partner and it's completely normal. Things that would give me lots of cringe if done in front of my closest friends. With my girlfriend? Soup. Good soup. My wife likes searching my back for blackheads and squeezing them. I wouldn't let another human do that to me. I had an ex-girlfriend who loved to do this when we showered together. I got to wash her breasts and she popped my back pimples. Fun for everyone. Scratching his back and head, massaging after a long day at work, nose kisses, looking at each other's eyes, listening to their laugh, especially the big laughs where they can't control it. Conversation about hopes, fears, past hurts. It's emotional intimacy. When my wife was alive, her and I were always in some form of physical contact. If I was driving, my right hand was always on her leg and she would always lightly ticking the back of my neck and head. I'll really miss that feeling. We had 2 sofas so we could both lay down and stretch out while watching TV, but we'd put one arm out so we could hold hands. If we were out somewhere, she would always hook her arm around mine and have her body pressed up against me. I miss that feeling too. She was really big on physical affection and contact. There was nothing sexual in this kind of touching either, but it always felt so good having her hand on my back, or tickling my head, of having her pressed up against me in line at the movies. She was the first woman LD ever been with that was so affectionate all the time. She's been gone 8.5 years now and I really miss that affection. Farting and ruining sex but cracking up about it anyway. Head scratches / playing with hair. I love it so much I could fall asleep while someone does it to me, and it's just super sweet. Talking and being present. Be present with each other. Talking from your heart completely. Taking walks together. Putting your phones down and being with each other with the little alone time you get together. Where we live, there's open parking, and then you walk to your apartment. If I get home earlier, he always parks next to my car. Not the closest spot cause there are things to carry. I leave in the AM, and there the cars are, right next to each other. He just sees us as a unit, and before he even gets out of the car, he's thinking about me. The exange of the worst news. I've got cancer, I lost my job, etc. This may sound like a strange one, but if you're a girl, you're / brushing or styling your hair. It's the sweetest thing and I couldn't stop laughing. It's especially funny and endearing when they're overly gentle and have no clue what they're doing and feel insecure, asking you if they're doing it right. As strange as it sounds, it felt like a bonding experience.